Okay, so all this time I've been giving you a polynomial function and asked you to find the zeros. We're going to go backward this time. Now I'm going to give you the zeros. Here are my zeros. And I'm asking you to write a polynomial function of least degree that has a leading coefficient of 1. This just means that I don't have a greatest common factor on this polynomial. So no need to multiply by a greatest common factor. That's all that means. All that it means. Okay, so let's get started. I know that my zeros are -4, 2, and 4. I'm going to list that out as x equals -4, x equals to 2, and x equals to 4. So now we're working backward. We have the answer. Now I want to go for the factor. Just like earlier, when I look for the factor, I want to make it equal to 0 instead of getting x by itself. So that means x equals to -4, what becomes x plus 4. I'm moving the 4 back to where the x, on the side of the x. X equals to 2, what becomes x minus 2. X equals to 4, what becomes x minus 4. Now all these are my factors. I started with, these are my zeros, these are my solutions, and then I'm going to make it to factors. And then now that I have my factors, I can multiply them together to get the original polynomial function. So I'm going to do x plus 4 times x minus 2 times x minus 4. Multiplying these, remember that we're multiplying 2 at a time. So using the array method, x plus 4 times x minus 2, that's going to give me x squared. That's going to give me 4x, negative 2x, negative 8. So I'm going to take that answer, x squared plus 2x minus 8, and I have to take that and multiply it by that last factor, x minus 4. So now I get an array, a 3 by 2 array. So that's going to give me x cubed, 2x squared, minus 8x, negative 4x squared, negative 8x, positive 32. So my final function, and notice how it says function f. That means that I need to write it as f of x equals to, combine like terms within, x cubed minus 2x squared minus 16x plus 32. That is the equation, that would be the function that I started with in order to get the zeros of -4, 2, and 4. Now it also asked me to sketch a graph. So looking at this function right there, I know that this is a positive odd function. So positive odd function tells me that the end behavior, right hand side goes up, left hand side goes down. I know the y-intercept of this function is my c. My c is positive 32. So the y-intercept is at 32. So, and I also know my zeros, because that's the first thing that the graph, that the problem gave me. X equals to -4, x equals to 2, and x equals to 4. Knowing this, I can now sketch my graph. First, put my zeros down, -4, 2, and 4. Those are my zeros. And since it's positive odd, I know it's going to end up going up on the right, down on the left. y-intercept is 32. So somewhere way up here, that's my y-intercept at 32. Okay, here are my zeros. End behavior, y-intercept. So starting from my end behavior, I'm going to draw connected to -4. And because I only have one -4, it's going to keep going. It's going to connect it to 32 before coming back down to my 2. And because there's only one x equals to 2, it's going to go through that point, go back up to the 4. And there's only one x equals to 4, so I'm going to go through that point and connect it to my end behavior. That would be a sketch of my polynomial.